Super Mario Odyssey is by time of recording the only 3D Mario on the Nintendo Switch. My verdict is, it good. Sure, Mario Odyssey has its fair share of rubbish like the stupid skipping rope and volleyball moons, but overall it's one of the most enjoyable experiences on a Nintendo console today. There will also be entire game spoilers for the entire video, so if you don't want spoilers, get out. The story goes as follows. Bowser kidnaps Peach in order to marry her and takes Cappy's sister to be a makeshift tiara. Got it? 'Cause that's it. I know Mario isn't the biggest on story, but it's a lot more than just having Bowser kidnaps Peach, end of story. It's also cool how we see how far Bowser is getting into his wedding plans as you proceed through the game. Every world you go to has something that's been stolen for Bowser's wedding. Like the Wooded Kingdom has lost its flowers, and how in the Snow Kingdom he's stolen their precious wedding cake. I don't see how having a cake as your most prized possession is a good idea, because that's going to go rancid if you don't eat it quick, Bowser. Anyway, the ones who are stealing this are the bunny wedding planners hired by Bowser to do his dirty work, like dyeing, because that's where they're especially good at. We got the hat one, the tool one, the hangover one, and the terrorist one. These won't be the only bosses you'll be encountering. There's the mean lady and the mean doggo, Ice Hand Man, Mechanical Flower, Mechanical Centipede, Autistic Burb, Angry Jellyfish with a colossal brain, an actual dragon, and a Goomba. Wait. But before you get to pound the living daylights out of these bosses with your colossal booty, you meet up with Cappy, a floating hat ghost who decides to be your new hat instead of your old one that got ripped to shreds in a propeller on Bowser's ship. This new hat also has some new abilities as well, like taking over the mind of helpless creatures and forcing them to bend to Mario's will. And he can also be used as a platform to jump on. Yay! But using Cappy segues into... Mario controls wonderfully in this game with such moves as jumping, double jumping, triple jumping, long jumps, backward jumps, sideways jumps, ground pound jumps, spin jumps, and wall jumps. All of these moves, including dives and ground pounds, make Mario control splendidly. But when you get Cappy, things really start getting good. I said Cappy could be used as a platform, but hear this. You can long jump, throw your hat out, dive onto it, throw your hat again, and dive. This creates opportunities that weren't possible in previous 3D Marios, and it's a blast to play around with. And with your hat you can do the main mechanic of the game, the capture ability. By the press of the Y button towards an enemy, Mario captures an enemy and uses its unique features to get through a level. Some captures include Frog Boy, Peck Boy, Fishy Boy, an Easter Island statue of shades, Expand Onion, and a Goomba. Yup. Coins have much more of a vital role in this game than any other 3D Mario game, as they can be used as currency in the Crazy Cap shop. Here you can buy life-up hearts, moons, and a vast array of costumes for Mario to wear. He can be a chef, an aviator, Luigi, Waluigi, Zombie Mario, Covered Up Mario, Not Covered Up Mario, and 8-Bit Mario. This was way better than just collecting 100 coins to get an extra life. But speaking of lives, are there any? No! Lives have been mostly pointless by just halting your progress to chuck you back to your last save point. The existence of lives was to drain your pennies at arcades, so the relevancy of them is non-existent if it's just going to annoy you. In this game though, whenever you die you lose 10 coins instead of 1 life. This is also a good incentive to collect coins as you never know when you'll lose them again. But if you do find the game for babies really hard, then you can use assist mode, which gives you 3 extra health points and directs you exactly where you need to go. I can see this being useful for inexperienced players who haven't played a Mario game before, or for pussies like me. There are a total of 14 unique worlds, excluding the post-game worlds, which have their own atmosphere, inhabitants, scenery, music, and purple coins. Some aren't so unique like the Cloud and Ruin Kingdom, but they're few and far between. Each kingdom has so much to explore, secret areas to look for, and interesting story beats. Some kingdoms are massive and will take you a couple hours to complete one. Take the Sand Kingdom for instance. The kingdom has 3 main points, the town, the tower in the middle, and the inverted pyramid. And all around it is so much sand. and every step you take, it always seems like there's so much to do. Speaking of which, oh my gosh, there are so many moons. 999 in all. It seems wherever you go, there'll be a moon.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
There's also so many ways to get moons, like just getting them out in the open because the devs couldn't be bothered to hide them, going to a challenge room to get the main moon plus an extra one which you have to go out of your way to find. Capitalism, and going through portals to different kingdoms. There's also the triplet moon, which you can get after beating a boss going through the story. Now each moon aren't created equally, like for instance, jump rope, and these moons will definitely take you a couple tries to beat. Or for me an eternity, because I ain't doing this. I got stuff to do, people to see, literally anything but this. But you know what I do like? Before I bought this game, this was the only reason I had at the time to buy it. The music. So many different styles like jazz, classical, rock and tribal, all played by an orchestra which excels over music from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Kirby Star Allies as the best sounding game on the Switch. When you arrive in the Cascade Kingdom on your first playthrough, you're able to go into 2D on certain walls. This plays music in an 8-bit style which sounds as good as the big band style. But after all our adventuring, we get to After getting enough moons, Mario and Cappy can finally set off to stop Bowser and Peach's wedding, which is being done on the moon for some reason. Mario rocks up to the door, but Bowser decides to throw down with Mario and finally defeat him once and for all. Just kidding, he's dead. The moon then starts caving in and Mario has no choice but to capture Bowser and bring justice to the world. Or he could just dump Bowser off a cliff, like I wouldn't judge. After all that, the world is safe, Peach rejects Mario and Bowser's proposal, and they all set off back to Earth to experience. After you've beat the game and skip past the credits, you're rewarded with the Mushroom Kingdom from Mario 64. Now I don't have any nostalgic connections with Mario 64, but when people saw this, they must have been ecstatic, especially with the 64 costume and castle music. On the subject of the castle, Toadette is waiting inside to congratulate you on saving the kingdom. She also gives you moons on certain achievements you've gotten throughout the game. And when I mean moons, I mean a lot of moons, like a lot, like please Toadette, stop! And another reward after you've gotten all the moons in a certain kingdom, you get more moons! Hooray! Moon rocks fall from the sky to grant access to all the moons you can enjoy. But also it kind of sucks because I have to play the game more. I can't do that, I have Toast to be taken care of. Along with the mushroom side and the darker side. The dark side needs 250 moons to get to, and it's basically just a glorified boss rush with the wedding planners, and then a bunch of challenge pipes and hint art. The darker side on the other hand needs 500 moons to get to, and only has one moon in the kingdom. The kingdom is essentially an obstacle course testing you on your skills you've learned and are indifferent to. I haven't completed it since I suck, but just trust me when I say it's very challenging. After you've conquered all that the game has to offer, the castle in the Mushroom Kingdom will be wearing a top hat. Very cool. And that's it. That's all you get for completing the game. But I would say it's more about the journey than the destination. All the kingdoms were such a joy to explore, and the game just oozed charm. That's why I've given Super Mario Odyssey a 9 out of 10. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe and drop a like, I'd really appreciate it. Doing your mom!